Training methods have come a long way in recent years. In fact, in that time, much of the training advice you used to stick to has now been shown to have had no merit at all, which is slightly annoying, really. So here are the top 5 training myths that you can now not do.
Many traditional cyclists will tell you that you need to be able to ride the distance of your target event before the actual event itself, whereas we don't necessarily agree. What you do need to focus on is being able to ride for the duration of your target event, because in all likelihood, depending on the event itself, you're likely to be riding at higher speeds for long periods of time in the slipstream of other riders.
Yeah, so if you think that your sportive might take about 4 hours, if you can ride hard in training for about 4 hours, then you're good to go.
Bob's your uncle.
Many years ago, researchers found that when you exercise at a low intensity, you burn a greater proportion of fat to carbohydrate. But what that research didn't show was that when you exercise at high intensity, you actually burn a far greater amount of total fat. And then add into the fact that exercising at higher intensity raises your metabolic rate, meaning that you carry on burning calories even when you've stopped. It kind of shows that there's a myth that if you want to burn fat, ride slowly, because that's definitely just not true.
It certainly isn't.
The fact that most pro cyclists look like they haven't eaten in well over a month has given rise to a well-worn phrase in cycling that eating is cheating.
Yeah, and although we accept a lot of pros look as lean as a stick of celery, they still actually eat. Now, losing weight is part of a long process that should be more about focused and balanced training than actually eating less. And remember, we need food to fuel our bodies, so eating definitely isn't cheating.
No, if not,
get that fuel in, son.
Eating is sensible.
Having a smooth, round, even pedal stroke has often been considered as one of the holy grails of cycling, but science begs to differ. Now, in a study conducted a few years ago, it showed a bigger discrepancy on the downstroke than the upstroke for most professionals compared to your average amateur.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Pushing the greatest amount of force using your larger muscles on the downstroke, as opposed to trying to get smaller muscles to produce an even amount of power as you pull through on the pedal. However, pushing on the downstroke really hard doesn't mean that you have to look choppy. As Matt shows here, you can still look oh so smooth.
Smooth on the downstroke.
That is incredible. How are you doing that?
Just nature. It's been a long-held belief that riding long, steady and slow miles is an integral part of building your winter base. But what it will actually do is teach your body to ride slowly, albeit for a very long time. Let's take Kurt Seevogel, for example. Now, he has just broken the world record for the furthest distance travelled in a year. And he can ride all day, every day. And in fact, is very, very good at it. But put him in a pro road race and he'd most likely not last very long.
No, I mean, there is still a place for steady endurance miles in a good balanced training plan. But remember, if you want to ride your bike fast, you're going to have to spend some time training fast.
Probably a bit quicker than this, in fact.
A little bit quicker.
Yeah, just a little bit more. So there you go, 5 myths you definitely want to avoid putting into your training plan.
Indeed. Do you remember what they are?
Not all of them, no. They were myths, they're just gone.
Yeah, we've forgotten them for good reason. Now, if you want to see a video about how we think you should train for a sportif, if you click just up there, then you get straight through to it. Or for an in-depth discussion on how pro riders are changing their training habits, then you can click just down there.
And to subscribe to GCN, you know what to do. Click on the globe, and we suggest you just ride a little bit faster than this as well. Although it is quite pleasant.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
You can just chat amongst yourselves.